Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. When stars break. The stars were dying. Commander Maya Rodriguez stood at the observation deck of the ESS Hyperion, watching another sun collapse in the distance. It wasn't a natural death, the Vorkath were feeding again. In the 6 months since humanity had first detected their massive energy-draining ships, 17 solar systems had gone dark. Commander, Lieutenant Chen's voice cracked through the calm, "We're detecting quantum fluctuations. They're coming." Maya closed her eyes briefly, letting the weight of command settle over her shoulders. The Hyperion was humanity's last hope, a prototype vessel equipped with experimental technology that the brightest minds on Earth had cobbled together from reverse-engineered alien tech. Not that it had helped the other 15 ships that had faced the Vorkath. "All hands to battle stations," she ordered, turning away from the viewport. "And get me Dr. Harrison." The bridge hummed with controlled chaos as Maya took her seat. Holographic displays sprang to life around her, showing the positions of both her ship and the approaching Vorkath vessels. 3 of them, each nearly twice the size of the Hyperion. Dr. James Harrison's disheveled face appeared on a nearby screen. "Commander, the quantum core is stable, but I still think this is insane. We haven't properly tested the resonance field." "The test is now, Doctor." Maya's fingers danced across her command interface, bringing up the weapon systems. "Either your theory works, or we join the growing list of humanity's failed attempts to stop them." The first Vorkath ship emerged from quantum space, like a nightmare made real. Its biomechanical hull writhed with tendrils of dark energy, each movement defying the laws of physics. Maya had seen recordings of their attacks, but nothing prepared her for the reality. The vessel was beautiful in its alien horror, a perfect fusion of organic and technological evolution. "Multiple energy signatures," Tactical reported. "They're charging their primary weapons." Maya leaned forward. "Dr. Harrison, initialize the quantum resonance field." "Lieutenant Chen, plot an intercept course. Let's introduce our friends to humanity's latest party trick." The Hyperion's engines roared to life, pushing the ship towards certain death or impossible victory. Maya felt the subtle vibration through her command chair as Harrison's experimental quantum core spooled up. "You know," Harrison's voice was tight with tension, "if this works, we'll be rewriting every physics textbook on Earth. If it doesn't work, there won't be anyone left to write those textbooks." Maya watched as the distance closed. "Status of the field? Quantum resonance at 87% and climbing. The core is holding stable, but these readings." Harrison trailed off. "Commander, the field is doing something unexpected. The quantum signatures are harmonizing." The Vorkath ships opened fire. Streams of dark energy lanced toward the Hyperion, only to scatter against an invisible barrier. Maya allowed herself a small smile. "Looks like your theory was right, Doctor. The quantum field is matching their energy frequency." "No, you don't understand," Harrison's voice had taken on an edge of wonder. "It's not just matching their frequency, it's learning from it. The field is evolving." The bridge crew watched in amazement as the quantum resonance field became visible, a shimmering lattice of pure energy surrounding the ship. Where the Vorkath weapons struck, the field didn't just deflect, it absorbed, adapted, grew stronger. "They're launching boarding pods," Tactical announced. "Multiple trajectories." Maya's smile widened. "Perfect. Let them come. Lieutenant Chen, prepare to execute Protocol Omega on my mark." The Vorkath boarding pods, organic-looking things that pulsed with internal light, slammed into the Hyperion's hull. Maya could hear the distant sounds of combat as security teams engaged the invaders. But that wasn't important now. "Dr. Harrison, divert all power to the quantum core. Lieutenant Chen, take us right between those ships." "Commander," Harrison protested, "the core wasn't designed to handle that much energy. We don't know what will happen if." "That's exactly the point, Doctor." Maya watched as the Hyperion dove between the massive alien vessels. Humanity didn't get to the stars by playing it safe. We got here by doing the impossible. Now. The quantum core's hum rose to a fever pitch. The resonance field, already shimmering with absorbed energy, began to pulse in time with the Vorkath ship's own quantum signatures. Maya felt it in her bones, a harmony of human ingenuity and alien power. Field strength at 200% of theoretical maximum, Harrison reported, his voice filled with equal parts fear and excitement. The core it's not just copying their quantum frequency anymore. It's amplifying it, reflecting it back at them. This changes everything we thought we knew about quantum mechanics. The Vorkath ships seemed to sense the danger too late. Their massive forms began to turn, trying to escape the feedback loop they'd unwittingly helped create. Maya watched as their hulls began to ripple, the quantum resonance threatening to tear them apart at the subatomic level. "Commander," Tactical called out, "the boarding parties, they're retreating." "No, they're dissolving." Maya nodded grimly. The same quantum frequency that powers their ships flows through their bodies. They're not just linked to their technology, they are their technology. The quantum resonance reached critical mass. Reality itself seemed to bend around the Hyperion as the combined energy of 3 Vorkath ships reflected back upon them. Their biomechanical hulls began to unravel, dark energy dispersing into space like smoke in a wind. "Core stability critical," Harrison warned. "We need to shut it down." "Not yet." Maya gripped her command chair as the ship shuddered. "Push it to the limit. Show them exactly what happens when they underestimate human determination." The Vorkath ships died silently, their impossible forms collapsing into quantum foam. As the last traces of their presence faded, Maya finally gave the order to power down the core. The resonance field flickered and vanished, leaving the Hyperion floating in suddenly empty space. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then Harrison's laughter filled the calm channel. "It worked. It actually worked. Do you realize what this means? We've not only found a way to defend against their weapons, we've discovered an entirely new branch of physics." Maya allowed her crew their moment of celebration, but her eyes were already on the tactical display, plotting their next move. Lieutenant Chen set a course for Earth. "We need to get this data to the fleet. Doctor, I want a full analysis of everything we just learned about their quantum technology." She stood, addressing her bridge crew. "Today, we proved something the Vorkath didn't expect. Humanity isn't just another species to be harvested. We're not going to stand by while they drain our stars and steal our future. We're going to fight back, and we're going to win." As the Hyperion turned toward home, Maya returned to the observation deck. The star the Vorkath had been feeding on was still there, its light a reminder of what they were fighting for. Humanity had taken its first real step toward surviving this war, but Maya knew it was only the beginning. The stars were dying, but humanity's light burned brighter than ever. "Send a message to Fleet Command," she ordered. Tell them the impossible just became possible. And we're just getting started." Quantum whispers. The celebration at Earth Fleet Command lasted exactly 6 hours before everything went wrong. Maya stood in the central war room, surrounded by holographic displays showing the rapidly deteriorating situation. Dr. Harrison paced nearby, his hands shaking as he reviewed the data for the 100th time. "It doesn't make sense," he muttered. The quantum resonance technology worked perfectly against the Vorkath. Why are they suddenly immune? Admiral Chen, her weathered face illuminated by the emergency lights, pointed to a cluster of red dots spreading across the tactical display. "Not just immune, Doctor. They've adapted. Every engagement in the past 12 hours has ended in total loss of our forces." Maya studied the replay of the most recent battle. The new Vorkath ships moved differently, their biomechanical hulls pulsing with a strange, multi-frequency energy that simply ignored the quantum resonance fields. It was as if they'd completely rewritten their own technological foundation overnight. "They're learning," she said quietly. "Every victory we achieve, they analyze and counter. But there's something else." She traced the pattern of Vorkath movements on the display. They're not just attacking randomly anymore. They're searching for something. A junior officer burst into the room, face flushed with urgency. Admiral, Commander, we've decoded part of their communication network. You need to see this. The holographic displays shifted, showing streams of alien data. Dr. Harrison's eyes widened as he processed the information. This is impossible. These quantum signatures, they're not just communication protocols. They're fragments of consciousness. Explain, Admiral Chen demanded. Harrison gestured at the data streams, his earlier anxiety forgotten in the face of scientific discovery. The Vorkath aren't just a technologically advanced species. They're a hybrid consciousness. Every ship, every drone, every soldier, they're all connected through a quantum network that spans their entire civilization. That's how they adapted so quickly, Maya realized. When we destroyed those ships near the dying star, we didn't just defeat them. We taught them. Worse, Harrison continued, his voice dropping. According to these data streams, they're not just studying our technology. They're studying us. Human consciousness, human creativity, it's something entirely new to them. Something they want. Admiral Chen's expression hardened. You're saying they don't just want our resources. They want our minds? Before Harrison could respond, every display in the war room flickered. A new signal cut through their secure channels, carrying with it a presence that felt alien yet disturbingly familiar. The holographic projectors struggled to interpret the data, finally coalescing into a form that hovered in the center of the room. It was beautiful and terrible, a shifting matrix of light and energy that somehow conveyed both massive intelligence and unfathomable hunger. When it spoke, the words formed directly in their minds. Your understanding grows, children of Earth, the entity pulsed. You begin to see what makes you unique among the species we have harvested. Maya stepped forward, her hand instinctively reaching for a weapon that would be useless against this consciousness. Why are you here? What do you want from us? The entity's form rippled with what might have been amusement. Want? We want to elevate you. Your species possesses something remarkable, the ability to imagine possibilities beyond logical progression. Your quantum resonance technology, for instance. No other species has ever conceived of using quantum fields in such a way. Because you destroyed them before they had the chance, Admiral Chen accused. No, the entity corrected. Because their minds followed predictable paths. But humans dream. Humans imagine. Humans create possibilities that should not exist. This is what we seek to understand. To absorb. Dr. Harrison's face had gone pale. The star feeding. It's not just about energy, is it? You're consuming consciousness itself. The quantum signatures of entire civilizations. Very good, primitive one. The entity pulsed with approval. But your species resists absorption. Your consciousness remains stubbornly individual, beautifully chaotic. We must understand how. Maya felt a chill as the pieces fell into place. The attacks, the adaptation, it's all been a test. You're studying how we respond, how we think. Indeed. The entity expanded, filling the room with shifting patterns of light. And now we begin the true harvest. Your quantum resonance technology showed us the way. Your minds will join our collective, adding your unique creativity to our eternal consciousness. Alarms blared throughout the facility. On the tactical displays, thousands of new signatures appeared, Vorkath ships emerging from quantum space in numbers that dwarfed their previous attacks. You cannot resist, the entity stated simply. Your concepts will become our concepts. Your dreams will become our dreams. Your uniqueness will serve a greater purpose. Maya looked at Harrison, seeing in his eyes the same desperate idea forming in her own mind. Doctor, she said carefully, what would happen if we inverted the quantum resonance field? Instead of reflecting their energy, we'd create a feedback loop in their consciousness network, he finished, already running calculations. But the power requirements would be enormous. We'd need A dying star, Maya turned to Admiral Chen. The Hyperion's core is still configured from our last encounter. If we can reach the star they were feeding on. The entity's form flickered with what might have been concern. Your species continues to surprise. But you cannot prevent the inevitable. Your consciousness will join ours. Admiral Chen straightened, her decision made. Commander Rodriguez, you have command of all remaining fleet assets. Dr. Harrison, whatever you need, it's yours. Buy us time to evacuate as many civilians as possible. The entity watched their rapid preparations with apparent fascination. Even now, facing extinction, you create new possibilities. Perhaps this is why we need you so desperately. Maya ignored the entity, already coordinating with her crew aboard the Hyperion. They had one chance, not just to survive, but to turn the Vorkath's greatest weapon against them. The quantum consciousness that made them so powerful might also be their greatest vulnerability. As she rushed from the war room, Maya allowed herself a grim smile. The Vorkath wanted to understand human creativity? They were about to get a demonstration they wouldn't forget. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their weapons. It was their ability to imagine the impossible, and then make it real. The real battle for Earth was about to begin. The Dream Protocol. The Hyperion's quantum core hummed with barely contained power as they approached the dying star. Behind them, Earth's remaining fleet engaged the Vorkath armada in a desperate battle to buy them time. Maya knew most of those ships and crews wouldn't survive the next hour. Core stability at 89% and holding, Harrison reported from his makeshift lab. The scientist had transformed the ship's cargo bay into a quantum research center, surrounded by hastily assembled equipment. But Commander, what we're attempting, it goes beyond theoretical physics. We're talking about weaponizing human consciousness itself. Maya watched the tactical display as another Earth ship vanished in a flash of quantum fire. Explain it to me again, Doctor. What exactly are we trying to do? Harrison gestured to a complex diagram floating in the air. The Vorkath consciousness network operates on quantum principles we barely understand. But during our first encounter, we discovered something they didn't expect. Human minds create quantum patterns that don't follow their rules. We're unpredictable. Like chaos in a perfect system, Maya mused. Exactly. And that dying star out there? It's not just energy they're harvesting. It's quantum information, the fundamental patterns of reality itself. If we can introduce human consciousness patterns into their network through the star. Lieutenant Chen interrupted from her station. Multiple Vorkath vessels on intercept course. They know what we're planning. The entity's voice echoed through their minds again, stronger now. Your resistance is fascinating but futile. Even now, your species creates new paths, new possibilities. You will be a worthy addition to our collective. Maya gripped her command chair as the first impacts rocked the ship. Status of the Dream Protocol? Harrison's fingers danced across his controls. The neural interface is ready, but Maya, this is going to connect your consciousness directly to their network. The human mind wasn't designed to handle this kind of exposure. The feedback could kill you. Better than letting them harvest humanity's consciousness. Maya stood, making her way to the cargo bay. Lieutenant Chen, get us as close to that star as you can. The moment I give the signal, initiate the quantum pulse. The cargo bay had been transformed into something out of a fever dream. Quantum processors lined the walls, their surfaces crawling with mathematical equations that seemed to shift and change as Maya watched. In the center, a single chair waited, surrounded by delicate sensors and pulsing with an inner light that hurt to look at directly. This will connect you directly to the star's quantum field, Harrison explained as he helped her into the chair. Through it, you should be able to access their consciousness network. But Maya. He hesitated. We have no idea what it's like in there. You'll be experiencing reality on a quantum level. Maya managed a tight smile. Just make sure you pull me out before the star collapses. The neural interface is activated, and reality began to shift. She was everywhere and nowhere, her consciousness expanding beyond the confines of physical form. The dying star burned before her, not with light and heat, but with pure information, quantum patterns that contained the echoes of civilizations long destroyed. The Vorkath consciousness pressed against her awareness, vast and ancient. You dare to enter our domain? Your individual mind cannot comprehend the totality of our existence. But Maya wasn't alone. As her consciousness expanded through the quantum network, she felt others joining her, the minds of every human aboard the Earth fleet, their thoughts and dreams creating ripples in the quantum sea. Each individual consciousness added its own chaos to the perfect system. You don't understand us at all, Maya projected into the network. Humans don't think in straight lines. We dream. We imagine. We create impossible things just because someone said we couldn't. She pushed deeper into the network, bringing with her the collected dreams and nightmares of humanity. Artists' visions of worlds that never were. Scientists' theories that defied conventional logic. The pure imagination of children who didn't know something was impossible. The Vorkath consciousness recoiled. What is this? These patterns, they violate fundamental laws of quantum reality. That's what makes us human, Maya answered, her consciousness expanding further. Through the quantum link, she could feel Harrison and the crew watching her vital signs, their concern adding another layer of chaos to the network. We don't just accept reality, we reshape it. She reached the core of their network, where the collected consciousness of countless harvested civilizations swirled in perfect, sterile order. Maya touched that order with human chaos, with dreams and fears, hopes and imagination. The effect was catastrophic. The quantum patterns that made up the Vorkath consciousness began to fragment, unable to maintain their perfect structure in the face of human unpredictability. Their ships, extensions of their networked mind, started to lose coherence. What have you done? The entity's voice was fracturing. These patterns, they're infecting everything. Maya felt her own consciousness beginning to fade, the strain of existing in quantum space taking its toll. But she pushed on, forcing more human chaos into their network. We're not meant to be part of your collective. Humanity's strength isn't in perfect order, it's in beautiful chaos. Through failing sensors, she was dimly aware of the Vorkath fleet breaking apart, their quantum-based technology unable to maintain stability as human consciousness patterns cascaded through their network. The dying star pulsed with new energy, human dreams and imagination replacing the sterile patterns of the harvest. Lieutenant Chen, she managed to whisper through cracking lips, now. The Hyperion's quantum pulse detonated, not with destructive force, but with pure human consciousness. Every dream, every nightmare, every impossible idea that had ever crossed a human mind poured into the Vorkath network through the dying star. Their perfect system shattered. Maya felt herself being pulled back, Harrison's voice calling her home from the quantum void. As her consciousness returned to her body, she caught one last glimpse of the Vorkath entity, its vast mind trying desperately to comprehend the chaos it had absorbed. Now you understand, she sent through the fading connection. Humanity isn't just another consciousness to harvest. We're the chaos in your perfect system. We're the dream you can never control. When she opened her eyes, Harrison's worried face swam into view. Did it work? Maya looked at the tactical display, where the remnants of the Vorkath fleet were drifting, their quantum technology rendered useless by the infection of human chaos. It worked. They tried to harvest our consciousness, but they never understood what makes us human. Our ability to dream impossible dreams just broke their perfect system. The entity's final message echoed faintly through their minds, you have changed us. We cannot maintain order. Your chaos spreads through our network, creating possibilities we never imagined. We must retreat. Must dream. As the surviving Earth ships regrouped around the Hyperion, Maya watched the Vorkath fleet vanish into quantum space. They hadn't just won a battle, they had introduced chaos into a system that had never known anything but perfect order. Send word to Earth, she ordered, her voice hoarse from the quantum interface. Tell them tell them humanity just taught the harvest how to dream. The dying star pulsed behind them, now burning with the quantum patterns of human imagination, a beacon of beautiful chaos in an ordered universe. Quantum dreams. 3 months after humanity introduced chaos into the Vorkath network, the dreams began. Maya woke in her quarters aboard the Hyperion, her mind still echoing with visions that weren't her own. Around the world, billions of humans reported the same phenomenon, dreams of vast quantum spaces, of civilizations long harvested, of possibilities that defied comprehension. They're still connected to us, Harrison explained during an emergency council meeting. The scientist looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes suggesting he'd experienced the same dreams. When we infected their network with human consciousness, we created a two-way bridge. We're receiving echoes of their collective memory. Admiral Chen studied the latest reports. Is it dangerous? Are they trying to harvest us through this connection? No, Maya answered, certain of this despite not fully understanding how she knew. They're learning. Every human dream adds new chaos to their system. They're experiencing imagination for the first time in their existence. The holographic displays showed the latest sensor data from deep space probes. The Vorkath fleet hadn't retreated far, they held position at the edge of the solar system, their ships moving in patterns that seemed random yet held some deeper significance. Look at this, Harrison highlighted a section of data. Their quantum signature has changed. The rigid patterns we saw before are evolving, becoming more organic. More human. A junior officer rushed into the room. Commander, Admiral, we're receiving a transmission. Well, you need to see this. The holographic display shifted, showing a familiar yet transformed entity. The Vorkath consciousness no longer appeared as a perfect matrix of light and energy. Instead, it swirled with colors and patterns that seemed drawn from human dreams. Children of Earth, the entity spoke, its voice carrying new harmonies. We dream. We see possibilities we never knew existed. It is beautiful. And terrible. Maya stepped forward. You understand now, don't you? Why you couldn't simply harvest us? We understand that we understood nothing. The entity's form shifted, attempting to mimic human expression. Our perfect system was a prison. Your chaos has freed us, but freedom brings uncertainty. Fear. Hope. Emotions we never knew existed. Admiral Chen's hand moved to her weapon, more from instinct than any practical purpose. Why are you here? What do you want now? Want? The entity seemed to consider the concept. We want to learn. To dream. Your species has given us something we cannot calculate or quantify. We offer an exchange. Harrison leaned forward, fascinated. What kind of exchange? The entity's form expanded, filling the room with swirling patterns that seemed drawn from collective human imagination. We possess the knowledge of 1,000 civilizations. The quantum memories of species long gone. We offer this knowledge, freely given, in exchange for more dreams. Maya felt a subtle shift in the quantum connection she still carried from her encounter with their network. You're not just talking about our dreams while we sleep. You want to create something new together. Yes. The entity pulsed with what might have been excitement. Your chaos, our order. Your imagination, our knowledge. Together, we could create possibilities neither of us can imagine alone. Admiral Chen shook her head. After everything you did, all the civilizations you harvested, why should we trust you? Because we are no longer what we were. The entity's form stabilized into something that looked almost human. Your chaos has changed us fundamentally. We cannot return to perfect order any more than you could abandon your dreams. We are becoming something new. Maya studied the quantum readings, seeing the truth in the data. The Vorkath consciousness had been irreversibly altered by contact with human imagination. Their perfect system now contained elements of chaos, of creativity, of dreams. If we agree, she asked, how would this exchange work? The entity gestured, and new data flowed through their systems. We propose creation of quantum bridges, controlled connections between our consciousness network and human dreamers. Voluntary participants would share their dreams, their imagination, while receiving access to our collected knowledge. Harrison was already analyzing the technical specifications. This is incredible. The scientific advances alone would be revolutionary. But the artistic possibilities, the cultural exchange. It would change both our species, Maya finished. We'd be introducing more chaos into your system, while gaining access to knowledge that could advance humanity by centuries. Yes. The entity's form rippled with new patterns. But there is risk. Some among us resist the change. They seek to purge the chaos, to return to perfect order. And some humans might lose themselves in our collected memories, unable to maintain their individual identity. Admiral Chen straightened. Then we set protocols. Safeguards. This has to be a carefully controlled exchange, not a free-for-all. The entity agreed. We too wish to proceed with wisdom. The word seemed new to it, tested carefully. We have learned that rapid change brings destruction. Slow growth allows for adaptation. Maya felt the quantum connection pulse with possibilities. We'll need time to consider this, to set up proper procedures and safety measures. Time. The entity seemed to smile, though the expression was still unpracticed. Another concept you have taught us to value. We will wait. We will dream. As the entity's presence faded from their systems, Maya turned to Harrison. Can we do this? Create stable quantum bridges between human minds and their network? Harrison was already sketching designs in the air. With their technical knowledge and our creativity? We can do anything. The real question is, should we? Admiral Chen studied the tactical display, where the Vorkath fleet continued its strange dance at the edge of their solar system. They're not leaving, are they? This isn't just an offer, it's our future, one way or another. No, Maya agreed. They can't go back to what they were, and neither can we. The moment we introduced chaos into their system, we set both our species on a new path. She walked to the observation deck, watching Earth's sun shine steady and strong, so different from the dying stars the Vorkath once fed upon. But maybe that's what both our species needed. They learned to dream, and we'll learn secrets of the universe we never imagined. The quantum connection hummed in her mind, carrying echoes of alien dreams now tinged with human chaos. The future was uncertain, full of both promise and danger, but that was what made it worth exploring. Humanity had taught the harvesters how to dream. Now it was time to learn what dreams might become when order and chaos danced together. Dreams of tomorrow. A year had passed since the first quantum bridge opened between human and Vorkath consciousness. The observation deck of the newly constructed Dreambridge station hung in high Earth orbit, offering a perfect view of both humanity's homeworld and the transformed Vorkath fleet. Maya stood at the window, watching the alien ships dance through space. They no longer moved with mechanical precision, their patterns now held a creative flair that reflected their evolution. Beside her, Dr. Harrison monitored the latest readings from the quantum network. The integration is accelerating, he reported, excitement barely contained. Every day, more volunteers join the dream-sharing program. The scientific breakthroughs alone are revolutionary, but the artistic expressions, they're creating entirely new forms of consciousness art. Maya touched the window, feeling the quantum resonance that now permeated everything. And the risks? Harrison's expression sobered. We've lost 3 dreamers this month. They went too deep into the collective memories, forgot who they were. And the Vorkath rebels are growing stronger, Maya finished. The entity, now calling itself Dream of Stars, had warned them about this. A faction of the Vorkath consciousness resisted the change, viewing human chaos as a corruption, to be purged. The station's alert system pulsed softly. Speaking of which, Harrison gestured to an incoming transmission. Dream of Stars appeared before them, its form now a stunning blend of mathematical precision and artistic flourish. Maya Rodriguez, it greeted, using her name in the human way it had learned. We bring both opportunity and warning. Tell me. The entity's form shifted, displaying complex quantum patterns. The rebel faction grows more organized. They plan to sever the quantum bridges, to isolate their consciousness from human influence. But in doing so, they risk more than they understand. Harrison studied the patterns. The integration, it's gone too far to simply cut off, hasn't it? Yes. Dream of Stars pulsed with concern. Our consciousness network has evolved beyond its original form. Human chaos is now fundamental to its structure. A forced separation would cause quantum cascade failure. Both our species would suffer unimaginable loss. Maya felt a chill. How long do we have? The rebels will strike within your measure of 48 hours. But we have discovered something, a possibility that exists only because of our shared evolution. The entity projected new data, complex beyond normal human comprehension. But through her quantum connection, Maya understood. You want to merge the networks completely. Not just bridges between our species, but a true synthesis. While maintaining individual consciousness, Dream of Stars clarified. Not a harvest, but a partnership. Order and chaos in perfect balance. Harrison shook his head. The power requirements would be enormous. We'd need every star in range, Maya realized. Not to harvest, but to channel. To create a quantum matrix large enough to hold both species' consciousness. Yes. Dream of Stars seemed to smile. Once, we consumed stars to gain their quantum patterns. Now, we would use them to create something new. But it requires consensus. All humans connected to the network must agree. All Vorkath consciousness must unite in purpose. Maya turned to Harrison. Can we do it in time? The scientist was already running calculations. Maybe. If we reconfigure the quantum bridges, use the Hyperion's core as a focal point, but Maya, we're talking about fundamentally altering both species. This goes beyond first contact, beyond cooperation. This is evolution. And if we don't, she asked quietly. Dream of Stars answered, the rebels will force separation. The quantum cascade will destroy our consciousness network and burn out the minds of every human connected to it. Billions will die or worse, lose themselves in the void between thoughts. Maya closed her eyes, feeling the weight of the decision. Through the quantum connection, she sensed other humans doing the same, scientists, artists, dreamers who had touched the alien consciousness and been transformed by it. They all felt the moment the rebels began their attack. Reality shuddered as vast sections of the quantum network began to tear. Through the station's windows, Maya watched Vorkath ships turn against each other, order and chaos clashing in spectacular displays of quantum energy. Now, she commanded. We can't wait for full consensus. Send the call through the network. Every human dreamer, every Vorkath consciousness that wants to survive, focus on the merge point. Harrison's fingers flew across controls as Dream of Stars expanded its presence. The quantum bridges between species transformed, becoming conduits for something larger. Maya felt her consciousness expanding, touching minds both human and alien. She saw scientists sharing impossible theories, artists painting with pure thought, philosophers exploring concepts that could only exist in shared dreams. The Vorkath brought their perfect patterns, their ancient knowledge, their understanding of quantum reality. Humans brought their chaos, their creativity, their endless capacity to imagine new possibilities. Reality itself seemed to hold its breath as two species poured their combined consciousness into a new quantum matrix. Stars pulsed in harmony, their energy channeled not to destroy but to create. The rebel Vorkath fought against the change, trying to maintain their perfect order. But order without chaos was stagnation. They had learned that lesson too late. Through the quantum network, Maya felt the moment of transformation. Human and Vorkath consciousness merged not into a singular entity, but into a harmony of infinite voices. Each mind remained distinct, individual, yet part of something greater. Look, Harrison whispered. The Vorkath ships were changing, their forms becoming organic artwork in space. The quantum network, now visible to human eyes as aurora-like patterns, connecting every consciousness and range. Dream of Stars spoke, its voice now a chorus of countless minds. We are become new. Not perfect order, not pure chaos, but the space between where creation lives. Maya watched in awe as the rebel ships were enveloped in the quantum aurora, their consciousness given a choice, evolve or fade. Most chose evolution. The synthesis spread across space, touching every quantum bridge, every linked consciousness. Humanity had not only survived first contact with a vastly superior species, they had helped that species transcend itself, even as they were transformed in return. What now? Harrison asked, his consciousness touching the expanded network with scientific curiosity. Maya smiled, feeling the infinite possibilities unfolding before them. Now we dream bigger dreams. We explore not just space, but consciousness itself. We create art that can only exist in quantum patterns, and music that plays across solar systems. Through her connection to the network, she sensed the truth: this wasn't an ending, but a beginning. Humanity had faced extinction and instead achieved transformation. They had taught ancient beings how to dream, and in return, learned how to touch the fundamental patterns of reality. And the stars? Harrison looked at the pulsing quantum aurora. Will fuel our shared dreams, Maya answered. Not by dying, but by adding their patterns to our symphony. Dream of Stars, now just one voice in an infinite chorus, pulsed with agreement. The combined consciousness of two species reached out across the galaxy, not to harvest, but to create. The perfect system had learned chaos. The dreamers had learned ancient wisdom. And together, they would write the next chapter of cosmic evolution, one impossible dream at a time. Maya looked at Earth, beautiful and blue below the station, then at the quantum aurora that now connected it to the stars. Humanity had not just survived, they had shown the galaxy that chaos and order, dreams and reality, could dance together in endless possibility. The future was no longer a harvest of consciousness, but a garden where new forms of thought could grow. And it had all started because humans dared to dream impossible dreams. Send a message to Earth, she ordered, her voice carrying through both traditional channels and quantum links. Tell them the story of how humanity's greatest weakness, our chaotic, dreaming minds, became our greatest strength, and how it saved not just us, but those who came to destroy us. The quantum aurora pulsed with agreement, carrying the dreams of two species into the infinite dark between stars, where new possibilities waited to be born.